Hey everyone, just wanted to share something with you really quick. I haven't always shared things like this before, but I think it's important right now. As some of you may know, 2 weeks ago, Christina and we lost one of our very closest friends to suicide. I was Christina's best friend since she was little. And obviously, so it was been a very tough week, 2 weeks for us, for her family. Been very challenging. We've received lots of support. We appreciate that. That experience, combined with a couple other experiences that I've had recently, have got me thinking about a few things that I think are important for all of us to be reminded about. I'll just say this. Over the past year or so, I worked at a job where I've trained young people, 18, 19, 20-year-olds, to be missionaries at the MTC. And it can be a very spiritually, emotionally intensive place. A lot of that is asked of these young people, and they expect a lot from themselves. At the end of this experience working there, my wife asked me, what were your key, takeaways? What did you learn from this experience? And I kind of thought about that. And I thought about my common experiences I had with missionaries. What were some of the things that happened most often? And I realized something that I think is true for these young people. I think it's true for everyone, though. I realized that everybody is struggling. Just about everybody right now is facing some tough, really difficult challenge. And it might be a mental or emotional challenge. It might be a mental disorder. It could be physical health problems, financial, family challenges or issues. It could be questions about what you're supposed to do with your life. And the list goes on and on. There's so many difficult things about this world that we face and we have to struggle with. I think, especially right now, in the age of social media, this becomes especially challenging. I think often social media makes us feel like everyone else is succeeding, everyone else is happy and doing great, and that's wonderful. I think we've all been there before, where we see that, and there's great things to social media as well. But I think one of the negatives is that it can start to, if we're not careful, we can start to feel like we are uniquely struggling, that everyone else is happy and we are not. And that's not true. It's certainly not true. I think if we had the ability to look into other people's hearts for a minute when we walk past them on the street or when we scroll past them on social media, I think we'd be overwhelmed at the difficulties and the challenges that people are facing, some of which we know and many of which we don't. So I think with the passing of our friend, I've been thinking about this more. And I just want to say to everybody that you're probably struggling with something, or you're probably worried about something right now. And if you're not, that's good. You probably have before, and you will again for sure. If you are in one of those places right now where it's really difficult, what I'd say is that you are not alone. You're definitely not alone, and you're not even in the minority. Most people are struggling. Most people are struggling right now, and that's kind of a permanent right now. Right now, today, and then a year from now, and 2 years from now, most people are dealing with something really challenging. The second thing I'd say is attached to that what makes suffering, trials, and sadness difficult is more difficult is when we're going through it alone, or when we feel alone. And I think just with the internet, with social media, it's easy to feel alone, or to feel that we are uniquely suffering. What I have learned through my own experience and through helping others as well is that all we ever really need to get through these things are tiny encouragements. Genuine, but tiny, small things. When someone genuinely compliments you or goes out of their way to talk to you about your struggles, man, when you are struggling, that makes all the difference in the world. You've probably felt that before. So my point in this is this. Wherever you're at right now, whether you're at your lowest point or just kind of normal challenges and the normal difficulties of life, don't suffer alone. Don't go through it alone, because there are so many people who will be willing to talk to you. And I think you'll probably be surprised at how easy it is after the initial vulnerability they have to show. It takes a little courage, how refreshing and enlightening and renewing it can be to talk to somebody. And it can be as simple as, hey, I'm struggling. Hey, I'm going through something. Can I just share a little bit? And people will listen. Just find someone you trust and they'll listen. And I'd be happy to listen if any of you have struggles or challenges that you want to talk about. So for all of you, keep going. You're not alone. And let's remember to put off judgment for a minute, put off judgment of ourselves and of others, whether that be good or bad, and just allow ourselves to experience and allow ourselves to suffer when we have to. But let's never suffer alone. Let's encourage each other, lift each other up, and let's just do it in tiny, tiny, small ways. And you'd probably be surprised at how effective tiny little encouragements are.